I'm very excited about my second guest here this evening because, first of all, she was kind enough to sit here for the last 90 minutes watching the show and didn't fidget like previous second guests have. So, but also, I'm quite new to venturing into this online world, which I am trying to get dubbed Intervision. We'll see who jumps on board. Intervision. Give it a test drive. See how you feel about it. So in my what feels like maiden voyage, I'm coming across an enormous amount of talent that is thriving in this world of Intervision and getting the attention and, if I dare say, the eyeballs that the former giants of broadcast television enjoyed on a more exclusive path and domination. So this next guest, with that in mind, came to my attention through this particular world that I'm slowly entering and enjoying and attempting to thrive on my own damn self. And what happened was that her story, as you're about to hear bits and pieces of, is nothing shy of a miracle in terms of creating your own destiny, as I touched on at the outset of what that can be. Born in Huntsville, Alabama. Yes. This gal was homeschooled. We're going to hear about that. You bet we are. Because I want to hear about that. Speaking of Mother's Day, perhaps it's foolish of me to assume that Mom had something to do with the homeschooling, but that was the first thing I thought of. We'll find out. And then entering University of Texas at Austin at age 16. What the hell? Graduate valedictorian. Yeah. How's my... People are wrestling around. Because after all, we're not ready. And with a major in mathematics, now we're starting to get into the future of the gamer and the geek world. Major in mathematics and violin performance. What? 2003, she became known as a vampire slayer. Vi, under the protection of Buffy herself, eventually becoming the head of the New York Slayer Squadron. I can't wait to hear about all this because it's absolutely fantastic. And then in 2006 or 2007, I want to clarify that, she created what has now become an internet phenomenon called the Guild. And I'm so unbelievably pleased. Please help me welcome Felicia Day. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Wow, you Googled me.
A little bit.
Someone did.
I have a research, I like to call them, crack research, but then knowing that some of them actually
do crack.
It
I
makes
saw that
it,
out there.
Yeah, it makes it a problem, right?
Yeah. It's cheaper.
It is cheaper. Thank you. But so you didn't fidget once, which was astounding.
I was trying to reach for a mint, but there's so much paraphernalia in my purse, and I can't. I'm sure I had something that would do some kind of buzz ringing, and I had several lipsticks. I probably have 21 lip glosses in there.
You really?
So yeah, it's a woman. I don't know. I like palettes, so if you count the cumulative colors that I can pick from on any given day, it's probably 21.
Is it? Have you narrowed it down to that? No.
It's not interesting.
No. Well, that's why you're wrong.
Really?
In fact,
as a man, you find that interesting?
On this show, that's the stuff that I find interesting.
Okay.
Not how you became the queen of the New York Slayers.
Yeah, that happened in the comic book.
Right.
So I had to experience that secondhand when somebody sent me, a PDF of it and said, "Oh, you're in the," because I don't know, I didn't know this about comics, but they could use your face however they want. So they could put you in whatever scenario, and thank goodness it was a good scenario. I am the head of the New York Slayers.
Ah, yes, that is a good scenario.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was basically, this was during a time when you were auditioning for shows, and this thing came along, and but did you know, were you a fan at all of the show beforehand?
In college, I worked entirely too hard on getting good grades, which in retrospect...
Clearly, it says here valedictorian.
I know, and I regret that, to be honest with you. I
you?
don't want to, spread vagrancy among the college population, but that really did not enhance anything I'm doing right now, the obsession for the A.
I'm going to need you to repeat that.
The obsession for the A did me no good at this point.
See, I lasted 9 months in college.
I heard that.
I graduated otherwise known as dropping out, in 9 months. And it only fueled to help me focus my destiny and my efforts to find it, other than feeling like high school with ashtrays, which you wouldn't know since you avoided high school.
Did not go to high school, and therefore I'm socially maladept in many areas,
Yeah,
which is good and bad.
That's shocking, then, that you would find such success online.
Yeah.
We're going to get to your love of being a gamer before you portrayed one.
Okay.
But first, did I assume incorrectly, which is usually what happens, saying that mom had something to do with the homeschooling?
Yes, my mother, who might be watching, so I
Might be?
I don't know.
You're not allowed to swear?
I'm not sure. Oh, swearing, good.
Oh,
That's yeah.
right.
No, that's fine.
Because I saw the ring and I thought
Yeah.
maybe there was some...
What? My mom didn't give me this ring.
Oh, the other one. Is that not from Irish descent?
No, I am a little bit Irish. I'm more Polish, which I don't usually admit. But,
Really?
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be that. It's kind of like when I just went to England, and Welsh people tend to be kind of the butt of all jokes. So the Polish are kind of the worldwide Welsh.
Oh man, that's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, my mom did homeschool us. My father was in the military when I was a kid, so we would move around every 2 or 3 months. And we would live places that didn't have the best school systems. I mean, we moved to like Biloxi, Mississippi, and lived there for several years. But they were literally rated the worst school system in the country.
Well, that explains a couple of things.
Exactly. So that's why
Sergeant
my mom.
Toomey being one of them. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Who?
Sorry, sir. Christopher Walken reference from Biloxi Blues.
Okay.
You've seen the film, I take it. Am I incorrect in assuming these things? Because for my money, it's the best Walken there's ever been, because he loses his shit about half hour into this picture, and you can't believe it. All right, I'm sorry.
So good. Keep going.
So mom's homeschooling you, and is it during this time that you find a little downtime, me time in the world of gaming online?
Well, I had a lot of me time.
Yeah.
It was more the unschooling thing rather than being homeschooled. So I would strictly enforce my like Lost in Space schedule and my old TBS black and white movie schedule, and I'd fit a little math in, and yeah, it wasn't horrible. Like I was always ahead of whatever grade I was in,
Right.
And everything. But yeah, I did a lot of extracurricular lessons like ballet and violin. Opera. My mom, I think she wanted me to be a geisha, so she gave me all these very obscure skills that turned out to have paid off completely.
Yeah.
So she was right.
And the violin,
Yeah, the violin.
which you became easily referred to in those terms of professional.
I
level.
was in the Austin Symphony. I won a lot of competitions. I got a full scholarship to UT on my violin playing. So I probably will never do anything that well again, because I didn't, that was it. I practiced hours a day, and I was very driven myself to be
Right.
good at it. So, the acting thing is pretty fun. But to do like 20 years of that, I play a mean guitar hero for that cumulative effort.
I could only
I'm
imagine.
really good at bass.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, what were your favorite games to play?
Oh, so gaming. So basically, I was cooped up in the house, and we moved places. So the two things that were in common during my childhood were doing musical theater wherever we would move. So I was in the chorus of like Sweet Charity 5 times or something like that. I played various prostitutes in that in my teenage years. Various. There are a lot of prostitute parts in Sweet
All
Charity.
right.
And then gaming. So before there was even internet, I would be dialing up to MUDs and just local chat channels on, how the modem used to go, yeah. So that's what I would do. And
Now, why can't that be my theme song? Sorry.
I'll do a little, no. Yeah, so that's, so I would play role-playing games. I was in the Ultima fan club.
Of course you were.
Prodigy, and I love role-playing games where I can dress myself in different armor.
Dungeons and Dragons, a little bit of that.
My mom never let me do that. For some reason, she would allow me to play, video games 8 hours a day, but the Dungeons and Dragons, that could open the door to
D&D was a gateway?
yeah, it must have been a gateway drug. Yeah. So now I play.
Now you do.
I do.
Now you love it.
Yeah, I do.
But also Lost in Space and Black and White, and what was all that?
I was a Nick at Night addict. I would watch everything. Bringing Up Baby, that movie that and The Cosby Show inspired me to be an actor. So.
Wow. Bringing Up Baby, too?
Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
I don't believe it.
Oh.
That's outstanding. I loved Cary Grant.
Yeah.
And had a terrible, terrible time. I thought he was the man. Like, people thought that Sean Connery's James Bond was the quintessential. And for me, it was the Cary Grant. And then the book come out that, he was gay. And, look, that's all fine if it was true. But for me, it was shattering. I just couldn't deal with the...
I was vaguely obsessed with him.
Oh, yeah, right?
So right now you're shattering me. I didn't know.
I never believed it for a second.
About.
Also, imagine this. Cary Grant in a gay bar.
No.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Excuse me, is that your penis I'm sitting on? Not that I'm mine. I just wanted to make sure it was yours. That's not a possibility. So, and again, there's nothing wrong with it, but...
It was just Cary Grant.
It's Cary Grant. Yeah, can't have it. Can't have it. Wow. Okay, so you had I'm guessing you had an amazing teacher at first with the violin, and then you took it upon yourself to become more than proficient, if not an expert, and a little obsessive, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm a little obsessive. Anybody who knows me, I'll eat the same oatmeal for 3 or 4 months, and I'll never be able to eat that brand again.
What's the brand now?
It's actually it's like a cinnamon sugar crunch. I don't want to,
Give away the brand name?
Yeah, well, yeah, why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Screw
he just
them.
did that with somebody.
Right?
Yeah, Kurt did something.
No, well, but the coffee bean, which you were excited about.
Well, I love coffee, so I'm familiar with his bean.
Are you?
I'm more of an intelligentsia girl. I love the black cat mix. There's one in Los Feliz, so it's just so far, but I'll go there to get
Are
a
you a
latte.
cat person?
I have 3 cats.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
And what are their names? This is very important, by the way.
Why?
Because Jamie and I are crazy for the cats, but we have a very specific need for the names of the cats. I'm very curious where you went with the names.
Okay.
Did you name them all?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it's not a test. There's no pass-fail here.
No, I just get anxious about most things.
Okay.
I name all my avatars after snacks.
Of course.
So that's that. But then all my cats have male names. So I have a Charlie, a George. Okay, I have a Speed Bump. Charlie, George, and Speed Bump.
Speed Bump.
That was the circumstances of her finding her that got her that name.
All right.
Yeah.
Charlie and George, I'm mad about.
What, mad?
Jamie has love.
Good.
Jamie had a rule that animals should have very strong human names.
Oh, good.
And I quickly adopted it as being genius, and have celebrated it ever since. And our cat that we saved from a room of 14 cats, where they, thankfully she wasn't on death row, but she was in hell at this lovely Lang Foundation. Anyways,
I
her
volunteered
name.
there, yeah.
You've been.
I've volunteered there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was a really bored actor, when I had a lot of downtime, I did a lot of volunteered.
Well, I want to hear about that as well. And so that's where we found our cat, who had the single worst cat name I've ever heard in history, I think. Auntie Mame, what was it?
Ooh.
Auntie Mame. Auntie Mame was the name of the cat, because that's a cat's name. Auntie Mame, Auntie Mame. The cat would just do this, right?
Was she declawed?
No, I'm saying the cat would flip off the person.
Okay.
Your cat couldn't extend all the way.
No, of course not.
Come on, it's a paw. It's a paw. I'm trying to
I
do
get
it.
it.
All right. Wow. I must.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm clearly inspired. You've got Cary Grant, Christopher Walken, and a paw. I'm really bringing out all the stops.
What did you rename her? Because that's kind of traumatic.
I'm sorry, that was the point of the story. Yes,
No,
thank you for
I'm
bringing me
just
back
curious.
to that. Let me just check the online to kill some time while I recover from that obvious. So Jamie said, well, no, that's no good. We agreed the cat's name is terrible. She said, well, name it Edie. Edie. Fantastic name.
I like that.
And she's, we're pretty crazy about it. We like our cats.
Now, did it take a while for her to...
No, she could care less.
Oh, good.
She could care less what we called her. Tell me about Speed Bump for a second.
Oh, Speed Bump.
Yep.
Yeah, my boyfriend was driving along San Vicente, and that's really wide.
Yes, it is.
And he saw a car hit this little kitten, as it was dashing across. And the way he tells it, of course, he did like a Tom Cruise, and it was like sliding diagonally. Dubious.
That's what men do.
Yes. It's quite, the testosterone-filled rescue scenario. But he was on his way to a meeting, and he got out and ran and got the kitten. And he called his, I guess he was going to his lawyers, and had them find the nearest vet. And she couldn't move her back legs, so it was a horrible, I'm sure, traumatic situation. So $5,000 later, with a leg surgery, she happened to be ours because we had to, we rescued her.
Right.
And he named her Speed Bump.
And Speed Bump's fine now.
Oh, she's
Having been a speed bump, now I get it. She was a speed bump.
Yeah.
And now she dances nightly.
No, but she does dominate the other cats, and gave my middle cat anxiety disorder, and now he's on Prozac. And
No, that's not true.
Good. It's
that's
true.
Not true. That's not possible.
I
You just made that up.
No, it's true.
You have a cat on Prozac.
It's kitty Prozac.
Let's go to the first caller, shall we?
Listen, I had to try something. He's eating his fur away. He's anxious.
Which cat has this?
George, and really, honestly, it's bad. I even got some this thing that you plug into the wall. It's a humidifier, and it's evidently the pheromone of the lactating mother, and it's not working. But I'm getting sleepy in that room.
You get sleepy?
I get sleepy in that room
Because it sends out good vibes.
I guess, I don't know, but it doesn't affect him at all. He's still
chewing the fur.
He is.
So then you got the kitty Prozac.
Yes.
And how's that working out?
He's tired for a couple hours, and then he's like,
Wait, I'm sorry. A cat tired? That's got to be the pills. That's what they do. They sleep 18 hours a day.
I don't know. He's a little more lethargic than normal. And then
wait, no.
I don't know. They're blue.
Cats are lethargic for real.
Well, he's not lethargic enough. That's why he's tearing his fur out.
So now he's calming down.
No. It's not working.
Prozac doesn't work?
No.
Liquor?
Maybe I try it. Schnapps.
Right.
Seems like it'd be appropriate. Catnip schnapps.
Why not?
Okay.
How do your animals? We're just going to do the whole hour on cats. Do they like the catnip? Because
they do.
Edie gets just completely and utterly whacked out. I've had cats that get kind of stoned off it.
Yeah.
And some get hyper from it. So what has your experience been?
They tend to.
I mean, you personally, not your cats.
Well, one of the cats wants to kill us all the time because we brought the other two in. She can't let it go.
Seriously, the first cat's pissy about it?
Yeah. Oh.
This is a concern of mine.
Super
We've
pissy.
talked about bringing in a second cat, introducing it into the. We're going to do an hour on cats. I'm sorry.
Well, listen, there's a lot to be mined here.
You know what? Let's break it up. Let's just break it up a little.
No, okay.
We'll come back to the cat.
We'll come back to it. We'll come
Because
back
I
around.
sense we could do 4 hours on the cat.
It can be the awkward pause filler. So about that cat.
Right? That's what we'll do.
Okay.
All right. There's research here.
Listen,
when I came into this Intervision, how do you feel about the Intervision? Has it already been used? Are you tired of me saying it already?
A couple months back, I tried to spread the word quim as the woman's special parts, and nobody would take it and run with it. So I'm just wishing you luck for this. I thought it was a good word.
You got an IM in that? Is that how you spelling it?
Q-U-I-M.
Mm-hmm.
It's a turn of the century word, and I thought it was elegant. So I was going to try to write in the Guild, and then people said it was silly. And then I met a person named Quinn, and then I said I can't ruin this person's life.
Wow.
So it's a long story.
No. It was perfectly lengthy.
Okay.
So in my early stages, phase 1 of Intervision, I come across this ridiculous story that I've only heard bits and pieces of, and after stalling as long as I could with 19 minutes of cat talk, we're going to have to get to how the hell this happened, if and you don't mind. Because it's fascinating to me. So the genesis for, first of all, what was your experience as a writer before the Guild?
I took a sketch writing class that was taught by my producing partner, actually, at Acme Comedy.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to say Jamie 17 more times. I hope you don't mind. Okay. This will be the first of the 17. Took a similar class at the UCB Theater and loved it.
Yeah. Oh, UCB is great, too. I took some improv. I've taken improv around town pretty much everywhere.
She took a writing class, I mean, specifically.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And sketch writing.
Yeah.
So you love that?
I enjoyed it to a point, and then I'm not kind of a crazy, let's, put on wigs kind of sketch person. Mine were very more scene-ish.
Yeah, let's give our cat Prozac before we put on a wig.
All right, listen.
No, I didn't come back to it, I'm sorry.
You did.
Okay, so you took that class, and that was your experience.
Yes.
But you didn't join the Writers Guild, or there was no...
No. I mean, I did the sketch company for a little bit. I got busy with some work, and then for months I played World of Warcraft incessantly. Instead of doing the sketch company, and then I had an intervention by some friends, And then I
What
sat
kind
down.
of intervention?
They just said, you know,
You need to stop doing this.
you don't
Spend
have
too
anything
much
to talk
time?
about but playing video games. And it was sort of a support group, a women's group. We would get together once a week and talk about what we did. You know, it was a sort of, hey, go get him, Tiger. And all I would be like, yeah, I did these raids every single night. I didn't do anything else. I skipped my acting class. You know, it got to be a point where it was pretty bad. Like I said, I have an obsessive kind of personality, so I was hardcore into the raiding. I mean, I needed to provide fish for my guild. It was a necessity.
Clearly.
So I had to go cold turkey because all the little, you know, half-hearted attempts to quit, you know, halfway didn't work with me. And then I said, I'm really bored, and acting is not filling my days like I would like it to, so I want to write something. And the first thing, you know, they say is to write what you know.
Write what you know.
So I wrote a half-hour pilot called The Guild. And I thought it was just going to revolutionize my life.
How long did
in
it
a
take you
different
to
way.
write this first piece, this pilot?
Probably 6 months of stalling, and playing more video games. Yeah, but the concept I had for a while, and then I just gave myself a deadline. I said, "You really, you know," I got really depressed and was whiny, and then I was just like, "Shut up,"
Right.
and just do it.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the challenge I think we all have. It's just overcoming the resistance that is completely self-imposed.
It's amazing the sort of excuses one will make.
Yeah.
And every writer I've ever worked with or met suffers from the same thing. And also, I've been a member of the Writers Guild forever, and I feel as though every time I sit down to tackle a new idea and how to formulate it into a story, I will put off that process as long as possible. And it's not about facing a blank page. I don't really know what it is. However, once I leap in, I find nirvana. The actual creating of characters within a story that come from thin air, otherwise known as my brain, is one of the most fascinating creative processes I've ever been involved. So when you were writing the pilot, did you find a newfound friend and joy in terms of writing?
No, not at all.
Not
I mean,
at
I'm
all.
kind of I really enjoy doing dialogue, and I love coming up with clever lines, and I'm hot and cold. The first draft is very, very, very hard for me to put on paper. I feel like, you know, there's resistance at every turn. I'm always alt-tabbing. I could Twitter and will, you know. There's just and I think it's just a fear that you're not going to be good enough, a fear you're not going to, and overthinking. So I think just the fact that the pilot for the Guild, I just literally imposed a deadline. I said, you're going to finish the script in 5 days, and it doesn't matter how horrible it is.
Right.
And honestly, when I look back, I retained almost a lot of that I wrote with that first draft. But as I was doing it, you know, before I started, I said, this is going to be horrible. And as I was doing it, I said, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of like, you know, bashing down the door of resistance, all the stuff that has nothing to do with creating.
Get out of your own way.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That's all I am to myself a lot.
And a lot of that getting in your own way is just protecting yourself from either failure or disappointment or I'm not good enough. As long as I don't do it, I'll never find out if I'm good enough.
Exactly. And then we have this perception that writing is easy, that everybody can do it, and of course everybody does it so much easier than you do. So you're the only person in the world to encounter, you know, I don't know what to do with this scene. You have this bubble. So
So you've got the pilot script for the Guild, and you let who read it?
I sent it to some agents I know and a couple of development executives I know in the business, and I was like, you know, I kind of really thought, oh, this is really funny. I think it's really, really funny.
Could be a good TV show.
Yeah, well, I wrote it as a half-hour pilot, and they were like, I don't understand a word that people are saying.
Chew inside.
Yeah, chew inside.
People who game, as you did, read the script probably and thought this is genius.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't really show it to a lot of gamers, but my brother, you know, is a gamer, and he thought it was really, really funny. So people were like, "Oh, go write a spec, like you know, a friend's spec, or you know, so whatever was on at the time." And I didn't want to do that. I really
a spec script of an existing
show. If they're like, "You want to be a writer, you got to write a spec script." And I really wanted to tell this story. I felt like this is really funny to me, and I know there are people who see it as funny. And the great thing is that my producing partner, Kim Evie, who taught the only writing class I've taken. She read it and said, "Hey, we should do this for the internet," because she has a show called Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show online, and it's kind of a wacky Japanese anime spoof. It's very funny. And
Gorgeous Tiny what?
Chicken Machine Show.
Chicken Machine Show.
Yes, it's
All right.
very weird.
It's a great title.
Yeah, it is. It's really funny, and she had millions of hits on it, and she,
From
said
putting it up on YouTube?
from YouTube, just organically from her putting it up there. So it was her idea, and we shot the first 10 pages, and we put it up there. And
First 10 pages of the Guild.
of the pilot, yeah.
Right.
So that's how it happened.
And who funded the shooting of the first 10 pages?
We did.
What was the general cost?
It was.
I'm not reporting for the IRS.
No. I mean, it was hundreds. It was nothing. It was bagels, and no, because we were just like, hey, we want to make it.
You knew people who had equipment.
I borrowed the cameras from Zabu, the guy who plays Zabu. He has cameras.
Oh, really?
Yep. He's a director. He's not an actor. He's actually a director, writer, producer instead. So
I'm sure he appreciates you saying he's not an actor.
he's the one who says it.
Okay.
Of course, he's a ham and a half. So it's denial. It's complete denial. He's gonna get back at me one day.
How are you doing on vodka, by the way?
It's
You all
good.
right?
Oh wow, it's spinning. But
Right. Sorry, I get very parched.
yeah. So we shot it and we put it online. And that's, I had never shot anything and produced it, but it was something that, once I decided you have no other choice but to do this, it all was, I was so driven to make it into a success. And not just a success, like I wasn't looking for external praise because I'd already been rejected by Hollywood. They said, nobody's gonna ever touch this. It was just the idea that I'm gonna make something and create it and find the people who like it. That's just the basic philosophy of my show.
That's the most exciting thing to me about the world, Intervision, in that you find a platform and the audience finds it. There's no marketing, which marketing, by the way, now drives the entire entertainment industry in television and film. It's all driven by marketing. What's the poster? Used to be what's the 5 moments in the trailer. Now it's what's the poster, literally. So the person who makes posters, if you want to make a fortune, learn how to make a good poster. So you put up this 10-minute trailer,
It was
first 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, well, it's three episodes. It ended up being 3 episodes.
Oh, okay. I see. So the pilot script became broken down into 3 5-minute.
3.5. I think the first one was 3 and 4 and 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
So when you wrote the pilot, it was a normal television length, and then you chopped it up into pieces. So how many online episodes would actually come out to that 22-minute pilot that you originally wrote?
Transcribing the first season now, it's about 66 pages. And that's so I had to expand. I had to expand it as I went along. And season 2, it turned into 99 pages because and then season 3, which I'm writing now, is 130, and I don't want to talk about it.
No, we won't talk about that. So from 10 minutes or 3 episodes, this goes online, and it begins.
Yeah, well, we released episodes once a month for the first season because after episode 3, we ran out of money. And we put a PayPal button up on a whim on our website.
Yeah, you need to explain this one, taking a little more time, because this is the part where it takes a turn and becomes groundbreaking, to my understanding. Is that you were, and by the way, was this your friend or your co-writer?
Oh, no, I write all the episodes myself.
But who came up with the idea for the PayPal?
Yeah, Kimmy. No, I think we actually had a meeting. We were trying to sell the show to one of the web places that has subsequently gone out of business. Probably, I think.
Screw them. Seriously. I never liked them.
Well, so basically, a woman said, "Hey, why don't you just get somebody else to, maybe you could take donations or something." And for some reason, that sparked. I said, "Hey, what's going to be the harm?" And I put the PayPal button up on our website, which I made.
You made the website?
Yes, because I had to. Well, the thing about web video is, even nowadays, we don't have enough money to hire people to do one job.
Tell me about it.
So, you understand that if you have to have a website done.
We have a shot of the crew, the NASA angle. Look at them.
Yeah.
Look at them. Dr. Chen, Alex, Monkey. Who's Monkey? And then there's J-Mac. We launched the space shuttle right before you came on.
It's amazing.
So yeah, there's no money, and you can't find anyone at all. So the idea of putting the PayPal button on your website. By the way, you started on YouTube.
Yeah,
right.
We did
with the first
YouTube.
3.
Mm-hmm. We release them once a month.
Once a month on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then the turning point for you was taking them and putting them on your own website.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'd always had a destination website, just so people could go and we could make a email list and all these other things, and try to gather and have an RSS so people could keep track.
Because that's what I was curious about, was how you take the viral community that grows on its own from YouTube and bring it to your own homepage.
Well, it's a fraction of the people who watch it on YouTube. YouTube has a very casual community that people only go to YouTube to watch videos.
Is my point.
And it's the extra, it's the extra step to, and that's why I think maybe directing traffic to your site at first, having on the card, we would drive traffic to YouTube only, but probably driving it to the embedded, that's the great thing about YouTube, you can embed the embedded videos on your site. That's, you get views and you get, but you don't get the engagement with the comments. So it's kind of a catch-22.
You build your audience on YouTube, and then you hope as many of them come over to your site.
To learn more about the show.
To learn more about the show, and to, quite frankly, get more involved with the making of it. So from the PayPal button, you were able to raise enough money to continue shooting the show. Yeah,
we shot only for costs. We paid very few crew members. The average donation was like $5 or $10.
And in total, you raised how much?
I can't really say. It's not a lot. We, like I said, we barely paid for it.
As it came in, you spent it making shows.
We would gather enough until we could shoot once a month. So we released episodes for 10 months. Because we only had an episode out once a month, which people would say, you're crazy. You need to have content out there. But I really believe that the fact...
So me doing this once a week is too much?
No, it's great, but I'm saying...
No, I'm starting to think it's too much.
No, don't. People are going to be mad at me now.
Maybe I just need to spend less than 2.5 hours doing it.
Yeah, really. No, I think that it allowed the show to find its audience in a sense, and people could pass it on, because people don't watch things. I think that we're entering a time where people don't have a schedule. They don't want to be told when they can watch something or where they can talk.
They certainly don't. And I love the fact that their show streams live, because it gives the show a sense of a ticking clock, but I understand that its larger audience is going to come from afterwards.
But you could say, you kind of look at it as it's always living. It's always a living, breathing thing. Like I have people, even now, I've never seen the Guild. It's 2 years after I've been starting it, and I just now found the Guild, and that person has other things to do. And the fact that they're finding the show now means they're going to show the show to their friends now, and they might, it's always constantly growing.
Well, discovery of any art form is one of the most exciting things about your enjoyment of it, is that you've discovered it and weren't led to it by, again, marketing,
yeah,
or a sense of literally social responsibility. In other words, Star Trek opened. Technically, you should be able to talk about it on Monday, and when you can't, you literally fall out of certain conversations. Or, don't spoil it.
Or
I'm not caught up on Lost. Don't tell me what, you know what I'm saying? So that discovery aspect of finding it on your own, or having someone turn you on to it, the growth that comes from that sometimes is so much more passionate.
Yeah, it might not be as initially explosive, but cumulatively.
Right.
We've had over 20 million people watch our show over the last couple of years. And who am I to make you have to watch it now? No, people are going to watch it on whatever platform they want to watch it when they want to watch it.
Did you say 20 million?
Yeah.
Sorry. No. It's 20 million. Okay.
Okay.
That's over 2 years' time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're only 8 weeks old.
Okay.
It's absolutely astonishing, and it's the part of your story, aside from how great the show is for people who love it, that interests me most, which is the viral aspect of its growth and its population, and turning people onto it, and it's taking on a life of its own. You never hired a publicist, I'm assuming?
No.
Right. Whereas in the other parts of show business, outside of Intervision, a publicist was abject to your success, and it's the greatest scam I've felt.
Yeah.
I mean, just absurd.
I mean, for me, the great thing about the web is the democracy of it. I mean, I could tell this story that nobody would have allowed me to, tell under any other circumstances, and I could just bring it to people. Now, I had to have some money to be able to start it.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Hundreds, I think you said hundreds.
Yeah, for the first, episode, yeah. So at the end of the day, the gatekeepers don't win, and for being an actress who has been constantly kind of turned down in Hollywood at every turn, sometimes rightfully, sometimes not.
Doesn't it feel after a while that they're not just saying no, they're saying, how about anyone but you is going to get this? Yeah. That's how it felt to me.
Yes, I mean, I work, I'm very blessed that I work and I am able to have a day job to pay, doing the commercials and guest stars and things like that. But, at a certain point, to be honest with you, right before I did the Guild, I was like, well, should I get a nose job or start writing? Well, I don't know. I'm going to write.
That's what the system convinces you of. These are the changes you need to make if you really want to start working. When the truth of the matter is, it's a numbers game. Mm-hmm. It absolutely is a numbers game, the auditioning world. It's ass backwards designed.
Yeah.
When you have a job, when you get hired to work on a movie or a television show, when you've actually been offered the job, you show up to work filled with confidence. Everyone believes in you, they hired you. You couldn't feel more on top of the world.
Yeah, and you feel safe.
Adversely, when you're auditioning, 180 degrees difference. No security, nobody likes me, my hair isn't right, I'm never going to get this. It's a ridiculous process, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about the next phase of the Guild, which is from funded virtually by your audience to when do you start either seeking the attention of strangers, as in sponsors, or them knocking on your door?
We started winning some awards with YouTube and South by Southwest. We won an award, and Yahoo Video. So we won a bunch of awards, and even starting before that, some people had approached us and said, "Hey, we want to help you make the show."
What kind of people?
Mostly studios. And some fancy producers who I was impressed to meet.
Sure.
And
they want to help you make the show, as in help fund it.
They wanted to come in with funding.
And help own it.
And own it, yeah. They wanted to own my show. And
that's the big word here.
Yeah, and that was a really big sticking point for me because even now there's not like a web series that's so much larger. Like Dr. Horrible is bigger than the Guild, but the Guild is I feel like, very successful in the terms of web video, and there aren't a lot of studio-funded web series that are up there. And I would look at these offers and the people who were smart, and I would say, well, what are you doing better than I can do on the web right now? How are you getting your show the places that I'm not getting it right now? And to be honest with you, none of them had anything but a pocketbook for me in that respect. I'm not the best business person, but I believe passionately in my show. And if I decided I wanted it to be on some blog or whatever, I would personally email. I do all of it myself. I'm like, hey, do you like my show? This is who I am. Watch it, and if you like it, link to it. So I was looking at these offers, and some of them, the more fancier people, were offering me like really crappy deals, and it was almost like, oh, I'm fancy now. I've seen you. I'm going to swoop down and give you the privilege of working for me for almost no money.
Yeah, and I'll take your show, and here's a couple of bucks.
Yeah, and I won't even guarantee you to be attached, if we take it to TV or movies. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm a girl, but that doesn't seem right. So you might, anyway, so I really...
This was around between season 1 and season 2?
Yeah, this was after the last couple, episodes, last spring or something, probably about a year ago or whatever. So at a certain point, and having done Dr. Horrible and Joss doing it completely on his own and owning everything, it made me even more adamant. And probably, people were like, what are you doing? This is a great person to work with. And yeah, it would have been in other venues, but on the web, I know what to do on the web. And I want to keep the show like it's been, owned by the people, kind of.
Yeah.
So we started shooting the Guild on our own dime. We self-funded a DVD. We packaged probably over 1,000 in my kitchen. I filled out so many customs forms.
That is fantastic.
No, it's not a great,
it really is, though.
It's a lesson in delegation. Do not fill out 500 customs forms in your kitchen. It's not a good move.
Write that next to 20 million. Hold
exactly.
on. Do not.
Don't do that.
Okay.
But we were able to back pay everybody for their work. They've been working for a year for free, some people. And we back
You hear that, crew?
Sorry, guys.
Back pay.
All right, I think I just got flipped off.
Everyone gets money on the back pay. Everyone will make.
The DVD.
I'm making now.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
Let's not
I won't encourage that.
soar past Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Let's
Okay.
dip our toe in that pool just for a couple of minutes, because you have some fans from that as well.
Oh, good. Yes, I
No, you really do. So I need to ask you a little bit about that
Okay.
before we race back to the
Cats?
Guild and then ultimately Cats. Yes. We will indeed finish the last 47 minutes with Cats.
Okay.
So Joss Whedon, you worked with on Buffy.
Yes.
And he approached you saying in 2008 this won award. So did you do it in 2007?
No, it was shot in February, I think, of last year.
Okay.
So it was shot earlier, of 2008, March.
And how many episodes?
3 episodes,
Oh.
15 minutes each, which everybody was like, "You're crazy." Nobody
Yeah,
will watch.
that is crazy.
crazy.
That could have been 3 each. It could have been 9.
Yeah, or
Did
or
that
2.
very quickly, didn't I? 3 times. So then, so you did 3 of those, 15 minutes each, and it was a musical. Mm-hmm. Did a little singing.
Yes, I did. I sang. We all sang ourselves.
And you love that.
No.
No?
I don't love singing. No, my mom made me take singing lessons when I was a kid, and it wasn't my first choice. I was a dancer, but I saw that the singers got treated better in the chorus
Interesting.
when I did musical theater, so I took singing lessons.
Uh-huh.
But so she, I told you so kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
because it did lead to really cool opportunities.
And what was the lifespan of Dr. Horrible's?
It's still going. I mean, Dr. Horrible, I think, is the most successful. I think it'll be, when we look back, it'll be like that was the breakthrough thing that really broke web video and made it more mainstream.
So then you just did 3. The show lives on. They've done.
Oh no! It's 3. They just did 3 standalone. We shot it like a movie, kind of. And there's, he released it through iTunes and streamed it through Hulu. And it was a really innovative way to, own a property
Right.
and release it in all the ways that around the man, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he's a brilliant, not only is he creatively brilliant, but he's a really smart business person. And he has a really, he didn't have any PR for Dr. Horrible.
Right.
It was all completely fan-driven.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a ridiculous fan base from Buffy, and everyone was wildly curious what he was going to do next.
Yeah.
So that being the thing, he takes the millions Buffy lovers.
They're very, a lot of our
Right.
fans for the Guild are just loyal from Buffy. They're not gamers. I have the combo, and they're just the best fans you can ask for.
So when you go to Comic-Con, it's just ridiculous.
Last year I went to Comic-Con for the first time.
It just must have been insane.
Well, people are very polite. It wasn't like, with Nathan and Neil, they got mobbed, and of course they had the security holding back, and I just was like, I'm just going to wander around. But I did get stopped every couple feet.
Nathan and Neil, I'm sorry for the people who don't know who you're talking
Sorry, Nathan Fillion and Neil Patrick Harris, who were in Dr. Horrible with me.
Uh-huh.
So they, they're much more recognizable than I am. But people would stop me every couple feet and take my picture because of Dr. Horrible, and I was just, this is a new experience for me. So
people weren't all over you, the gamers from the Guild?
Yeah, well, gamers are different. I think the same thing with South by Southwest. I went, a lot of people knew the Guild as well, but I think tech people are a little more standoffish. Like, I went to South by Southwest, and I was walking down a corridor, and I checked my Twitter, and I was like, hey, just saw Felicia Day. She's way paler in person. I was like, what? Dude, why didn't you say hi? So I think the tech people are a little more, a little more reserved. But this year we're gonna have a booth, and I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna hang out my booth. So.
Nice.
I guess I'm not a normal actor, but I mean I like doing the booth. So I'm
Right.
sitting in the booth all day, hanging the banner.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's a natural a marriage of audience and performer in terms of what that whole Comic-Con
Yeah, well,
milieu is.
I feel like it's I am a geek, and Hollywood did not like what I did. They still don't get it. I played a crazy cat lady 5 times. Just last week I played another crazy cat lady, which is like, okay, I
like
can do
the
that
one
role.
from The Simpsons that pulls cats out of her hair?
No, not that. Just the quirky, oh, she's adorable, but she has too many cats, can't date her. That kind of girl. I've played that role a lot, which is cool. I mean, that, and 2 years after I did the Guild, like everything I've done cumulatively really hasn't translated at all to mainstream very
Right.
well. But at the same time, like when I started doing things that were, I love science fiction fantasy books. I love playing D&D. I'm a gamer. And I started being true to who I am.
Right.
And that's when I really found whatever this is, which is more happiness and success than I have had before.
Oh, yeah.
So
A little bit. And how about ownership?
Yeah, I own my show. I mean, there are a lot of sacrifices I made because of that, but
Well, also, how about, the faith that you had, that you could do it? You were in a situation, as you said, that you weren't satisfied at all with the auditions and stuff you were going through in mainstream television and film, and here was an opportunity to create your own destiny, and you procrastinated as much as you possibly could, but the fact that you met that initial deadline,
Yeah.
and coming from that point to this one. By the way, what I was getting at with Comic-Con was I'm in love with a gorgeous geek myself,
oh,
so I know what it must be like. No, not you, Sam.
wow.
Sam Levine. Where's my? There they are. So yeah,
He's weeping.
the first one there behind in the boots. Look at that. She's so fantastic. So I imagine her starring in a show like The Guild and showing up I mean, if you're a gorgeous geek, I'm just thinking that they just.
People are very polite. Like, I've never had, I'm out on Twitter and I have, a lot of people who follow what I do, and people are like, oh, isn't it scary? Like, I've never met anybody who made me uncomfortable or anything.
Until now?
Nice table.
It creates a perfect amount of space.
It's good.
All right, so after getting all these, let's call them shitty offers, because that's what they were,
Yeah.
and more importantly, they wanted to take away ownership, and didn't matter really what they were offering, is what I was sensing. Was there a number? Everyone allegedly has a number in their mind. If one of these idiots had crossed the line and actually hit a number, was there a chance that money number? Was there a chance that anyone was going to take away ownership if there was an actual number?
Yeah, but people were like, you're crazy. And the number was probably really high.
Yeah. Because that's the problem I found in broadcast television.
Yeah.
Is there's always a number, and I'm not going to say which head of which network asked me to do a TV pilot years ago, and I said no, and I kept saying no on the phone with the president of the network, who never is told no by most people. And the only reason I was saying no, as I explained it to him, was this isn't funny for me. This is your Seinfeld. No. This is nobody's Seinfeld. And he hit a number. And he made it fiscally irresponsible for me to say no.
Yeah, it's a job after.
It was a guarantee. If the pilot fails, you get this. Now, I did a little math. 80% of pilots fail. This is going to be the biggest payday of a single week in my life, ever.
Wow.
And so it was literally fiscally irresponsible to say no. I mean, it's
No, it's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a business at the end of the day, and to say that I'm never going to have a better idea than this is selling myself short, I think. But at the end of the day, like, especially in the web video, community, people are not getting paid what they should. And, I know, because that's how I support myself mostly, is through my mainstream work.
Right.
I make a little bit of money off my show, but that's not paying my bills in a general sense. But I feel like there's a lot of creativity out there that's being, taken for granted. And I understand the way the institution is. The money isn't being flowing through to the internet because the people with the money aren't seeing the value add. But I feel like it's getting there to the point. And at the time, I had such faith in my show that I was like, no, you're not meeting what I want. And even if I were to sell it to you at this price, I don't know if you're going to do a great job with my baby.
Sure.
Are you going to do better at marketing the show than I am? Are you going to do better at getting the fans involved in the show than I am?
Right.
Are you going to give me notes that make my script crappy?
Right.
I don't know.
That's why you do television, to look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whereas in Intervision you don't. You don't need to, and you shouldn't have to. All right, so at what point does an agent by the name of George Ruiz come into the picture for you?
He was actually it's a funny connection to him. Alex Albrecht, who I did improv with years ago.
He mentioned that last week when he was on the show?
Yeah, I randomly ran into him at a commercial audition or something, and he mentioned what he was doing with Dignation, and he has an agent, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with the show. I really need to be able to, next season release episodes faster. I don't know what to do. So he introduced us, the show to George, who has been a good custodian, never tried to be like, why aren't you taking this deal?
Right.
And who's done well for the show.
Which is pretty rare, by the way, an agent
I know.
saying, why don't you take this deal?
Believe me.
They all my whole career, they try to talk me into all the wrong decisions.
Well, I think at the end of the day, the power that Hollywood has over you, and this is what I feel honestly, is that whenever I feel like, I need something from Hollywood, I need it, is when I start to loathe myself. So the only thing you can have really is to not care and not need them.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if I, this just dries up, which it probably, at a certain point, it's just the ebb and flow of everything.
Right.
I won't, slip my wrist because Hollywood is like, we're through with you. Well, that's not what life is about. My career is not my life, hopefully.
No, your cats are, clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah. And your games.
Yeah.
All right, so you're now set up with Xbox Live.
Yes. Xbox Microsoft.
And somebody's very happy about that. With a hugely successful deal with Microsoft. Mm-hmm. And Sprint's involved?
Yeah, Sprint is the overall sponsor.
Right.
And Microsoft is acting as kind of the distributor.
Right.
Licensor, producer.
And you and they and George were able to work out a deal wherein you keep ownership of your show and they get access to air it on their platforms for its initial run?
Yes, for its initial run.
And then all the life beyond the initial run, the DVDs, the what have you?
That's, after we can take it where we would like after, the initial run.
That's the beauty of having the ownership.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. And I don't know anybody else who would have given that kind of really great deal. And in addition, Microsoft coming in, people have this perception of Microsoft, like, ugh. But honestly, they are great to work with. And were amenable to the ideas that I had outside of that kind of sticking point. Like, let's see, I was in a meeting once and I was like, I really want the show translated into 8 different languages, and I want it to be released internationally because I think geo-locking is stupid. Because why, if you can click, why if you're in France, you can't just click and watch something that somebody in Omaha is watching? I think it's stupid. And they looked at me like, you are insane. This girl is insane. And Xbox was like, oh yeah, we're an international platform. We'll subtitle it and we'll release it. And the international downloads are like almost equal to the national downloads, which completely, like,
Way to prove that point.
Exactly. I kind of feel proud of that because distinctively one guy looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, yeah. So, which is cool. So they allowed that, and then, they have a very cool pre-roll that's like silent. Sprint has like a small pre-roll before it, but we were never like, creatively hassled in any way.
And they have no input into your scripts?
I mean, they had nothing to say about it, I mean, it's great. I did what I wanted with the second season, completely what we wanted to do.
Right. I mean, so they're not really involved in the creative and the content?
Not really. I'm sure that if I jumped the shark or something, they'd be like, what are you doing? But
right.
they
But that would be after the fact. In other words, when you're writing these scripts now that you're attempting to procrastinate for season 3.
Not attempting. I'm trying not to procrastinate.
Right. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I misunderstood.
Yeah. You misunderstood my torment. Thanks.
So are you running these scripts by executives at Microsoft before you shoot them?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
when would that ever happen in broadcast television?
That would be ridiculous. I mean, if they asked to see the scripts, I wouldn't, be like, oh, what's ridiculous? But,
But they didn't ask when making the deal, we're going to need to check all the content, we're going to need to be involved creatively with the scripts.
They're essentially distributing the show.
Right.
And they're showing it to people, and they have these amazing platforms. Like my show that is just kind of shot in my, my shed, some of it, is up there in a little square on Xbox Live download, and then you can click one other thing and see 30 Rock. I'm one click away from 30 Rock. I have the same, real estate as network shows.
Right.
And I think that's just the coolest thing ever.
It's the future and now the present.
Yeah. Well, the more people that kind of stand for that and make things independently. The problem is that, you know, you see this Hulu-ification of the internet and of video, and I'm afraid that some of that might take away the opportunity for independent people. And then also people are developing a lot of material with brands, like, hi, I'm a big fancy brand and I want to make a web series, and none of those are popping because you have an advertiser who has one thing they want to do and the creator, and when you marginalize it, it's
Right.
I don't know, it's not coming out great.
The Warner Brothers site with Rob Corddry's show, Children's Hospital, is that an exception?
I don't know the particulars of that, but I felt like, they obviously had a vision, they had scripts, and they're going to do what they're going to do, and obviously they had...
He's clearly being allowed to do, as so it appears, whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, that's one of the best I love that web series. It's great. So, I think that's the key. You really have to... the thing about web series is that it's so hard to break out of the internet, really. I mean, it's like having 20 million channels on your TV. How do you find something? And I think on the internet, you have to have the opposite approach as network TV. You can't aim to make your material please everybody.
Right.
It's no possible way. I understand why they have to do that.
No, I think you're succeeding because your audience found you, because your show was so specific, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of writing what you know and believing that you weren't the only one out there that thought that way.
Yeah.
20 million people think that way, apparently.
Yeah.
Or just like the way you look on their computer.
Well, I don't know.
Let's involve them, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think I've dominated enough of your... we got lots of tweet 5s for Felicia, I'm being told.
Oh, cool. I'm excited. I saw that and I was like, yes.
I see one. Are you just showing me them one at a time, even though we have lots?
You only read them first.
Yes. That just felt like a scolding a little bit,
Just
didn't
a
it?
slight scolding.
Scolded by Gelman.
It was more
I got scolded by Gelman. Jamie wants me to be referred to as Gelman, and I keep forgetting. She's absolutely right. Can I get a shot of Gelman, please? Yeah. See?
I got open reach.
There you go. There you go. All right. Ready?
Okay.
This is the first tweet 5. Apparently, we have several for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
And this is from at Rishi Ed? Any idea? Who knows?
I just cut and paste.
Yep, cut and paste. Thanks, Gelman. Take the rest of the minute off. Being redhead, difficult?
No.
No, I like that. Practice violin? Say no.
No.
Nice. Like doing commercials?
Yes.
Right on.
You can't get lower than web video at this point. It's kind of the bastard stepchild of entertainment,
Oh.
a little bit. But I've done great commercials. I've done some funny, wacky stuff on commercials, and I always get hired for fun roles. And to be honest with you, I've had more fun on some commercials than TV shows that I've done.
And at some point, it really is about having the fun. I'm like that on every job. If this isn't fun, what the hell are we doing?
What
here,
are we
honestly?
doing exactly?
Yeah. How do you read so many books?
Yeah,
We haven't touched on that. Read a lot of books, do you?
I read a lot of books, and since I got my Kindle, I read a lot of vampire erotica. Not really.
Hold on. Making,
It's okay. Listen, the Kindle is amazing because you can't see the cover art. So anything in the romance section that I was too embarrassed to buy before,
right?
download it. Get the sequel. Get the next sequel.
Listen to you.
And
Vampire erotica is where
I started with that. I moved on to science fiction.
Science
romance.
fiction erotica?
Not erotica. I just use that as okay. Some of it might be. I don't know what your threshold is.
I don't mean to circle the word erotica 4 times. That was wrong of me.
You did it.
How does your boyfriend now? Same one that brought you speed bump?
Yes. What does he think about my trashy literature? It was.
Well, I'm guessing he loves the idea that you're reading it. That's just a guess.
I just, it's the stuff. I'm kind of done with it. But it was just the glee with which I could just download it at a click. And
right.
I could tell somebody I was reading, whatever intellectual thing, to tipping point.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's a different tipping point that I was reading.
Nice. Wow. We got that on tape.
I'm blushing.
Oh, I got you to blush. That's fantastic. Actually, you got yourself to blush. I just sat here watching. Dollhouse Roll is the final of this particular tweet 5.
Oh, wow.
This was a strange tweet 5.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this or that. It was tell us more about yourself. But,
Okay.
Well, I appreciate the effort. These are all good questions.
Okay.
So. Dollhouse roll, please.
Yes.
Forgive me for not asking beforehand.
Well, it's all right, unless you saw the Twitter storm that I created that made the front page of the HollywoodReporter.com.
Oh, I'm
Thanks.
glad you brought up this one,
Yeah.
Rishi.
So basically, I did an episode of Dollhouse. Joss called me at the last minute and was like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Come do an episode.
Wow.
And
a
anything.
pal.
Yeah, exactly.
I meant you.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So basically, I showed up to work, and I was reading the script. I was like, "This is unbelievable. Are you sure you want me to do this?" I did this with Dr. Horrible too. I'm like, "Are you sure you don't want me to do this?" And it's a crazy episode. So it was number 13, and I didn't really know the particulars of it. So and a lot of press releases said, "Hey, Dollhouse has 13 episodes, right? It's always a 13 episode order."
Initially.
Okay, thank you. So when I saw like a press release that said the season finale was going to be essentially episode 12. I was like, what the hell? So I Twittered in my disappointment, oh man, just found out my Dollhouse episode wasn't going to air. Sad face. Thanks, Fox. Sad face, which was probably really stupid to Twitter, but whatever. I got sad. And I started a huge firestorm of people like speculating that the show was canceled and that how dare Fox do that. Like people were like flaming Fox Broadcasting at Fox Broadcasting. And I was like, whoa, 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 you guys, it's not canceled. They're just not airing my episode. It's giving me the DVD. What? You know, and then people got so mad and I was like, oh no. And it just, like I said, front page of Hollywood Reporter, the Twitter controversy. So it has something to do with they shot a pilot, they threw it out. The network counted the second pilot as episode 2, so they only aired 12, but Fox was the producer. The production company was Fox, 20th Century Fox,
Right.
and they needed 13 episodes to fulfill the DVD/international orders. So this episode was planned to be on the DVD, but always hoped to air, and that is the story. So
Will it air on broadcast television?
I don't know. I
Right.
mean, it could be incorporated into season 2, but as of now, all I know is that the definite thing is 13 will be on the DVD, which is I think gonna be at Comic-Con. So it's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
17 reasons for you to be at Comic-Con.
Well, I have a booth. I'm excited. I designed the banner. I'm gonna be in my booth.
Will you take pictures of the booth?
I will. I'm
And,
sure lots of
post
other
them on Twitter?
I will.
That would be fantastic. And you're at Felicia Day, right?
At
For
Felicia
anyone
Day,
that-
yeah.
Okay. Is this a tweet 5 from BC? It would be nice if people gave us the phonetic B.
Is it like a license plate? Does it
I don't
stand for
even
something?
know how to start. BCH, and it's the CH that's throwing because it's IESA. So like Shisha, Bishisha, BCHisa. I'm sorry. Okay, tweet 5 from BCHisa.
Okay.
Couldn't possibly be that. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Hard.
Not supposed to be easy.
Why would you ask me that?
Not supposed to be easy.
That's
People ask that.
that's
6
like,
people asked
It's
that.
like chocolate or peanut butter. That's like a crazy question.
About
Would I
both?
rather be on?
About chocolate and peanut butter.
See, that's what I would say. I would have to say I just saw Star Trek, so I'm kind of obsessed with that. There was a girl who was an extra with crazy hair in the last. I was like, why wasn't that me? I was like, Central Casting, call me.
I thought the movie was perfect. Star Trek.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Ridiculous.
It was kind of like I wanted to be snarky. I wanted to be like, that actor's too pretty. He's not going to be good.
I don't think you're alone with that one.
Yeah.
I think everyone's feeling was along those lines.
Exactly. But I mean, I would love to learn how to use a lightsaber.
Oh no, there's no disregarding
Okay.
or disrespecting the Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah. So your answer is
Star Trek.
because it's on your mind right now.
Yes.
Otherwise.
Otherwise, it just slit my wrists and have me bleed out right now.
Harrison Ford? Do anything for you?
Yeah, I'm more of I just saw Duplicity, and I'm just like obsessed with Clive Owen right now. He's a modern day Cary Grant in that movie.
I believe you're right. All right. Chuck or Dollhouse?
Oh, you know, I haven't kept up on Chuck. I actually auditioned for the pilot of Chuck, which is weird, you know. But so I watched a couple of the first initial episodes, and then it just kind of fell off my radar. But I just did a convention with Zach Levi, who is the Chuck. So now I need to watch it. But Dollhouse, I would have to say, just because I know everybody over there and I was on it.
Yeah.
So duh.
What kind of convention was this that you were?
It was a fan convention in Birmingham, England, So it was really
This is
cool.
where you went to Birmingham.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, that's the expensive lightsaber. Oh my god.
Turn it off. Turn it off. If you know how. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, wow.
And then, thank you.
Now I gotta say Star Wars.
See, now there's an on thing. You can actually
Where did you get
have it
this?
come to life yourself. Here at the Mahalo Studios, we spare no expense. See? You just sold 6,000 of those.
Oh really? I should get a free one now.
Do you want to wave it
Oh, yeah.
around? Do you want to spend some time with it?
I don't. Oh,
Oh!
no. And
It makes
Kevin
a
Pollak-
sound.
that would be the best YouTube video if I beheaded you with a.
Yes, well, I'm sure we could work out the graphics. You want to just...
It's amazing. What? Hit it?
Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Just watch the water.
Oh. you gotta make a.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll do a Shatner for you.
Do a Fretner.
Yeah.
You made it explode. Did you hear that? Wow, that's the best.
I can't believe we buried the lead. That should have been the first thing we started with.
Great.
Yeah, good luck, Star Trek. All right.
Yeah.
Time travel or space travel,
Wow.
right? Can't pronounce his or her name, but these are good.
You know, it's interesting because I've always romanticized the Middle Ages because I play role-playing games. So I've
Clearly.
always been like, wow, it'd be lovely to live in the Renaissance or even in the... And then I just read a book on my Kindle about the Black Death and how people did not bathe until like 1800. So I would have to say space travel.
Because of the bathing issue?
Bathing, yeah, and
The hyd-
lice.
Right.
And lice. Everybody had lice back then.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's why it was one of the 10 plagues. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What are the other 9? That's your 5. What do you think of the 9?
Yeah. Improv or script?
On my set?
How much do you improvise
On the probably 10%.
on the guild? 10%?
It's almost all scripted.
Right.
Zabu, Sandeep, and Jeff Lewis, we were in an improv group together. So
Right.
they do a lot of, I mean, not a lot, but a moderate amount of improv. They always have a funny line. And I'm never, I don't have ego about my writing. I'm like, if your line is funnier, definitely let's go with that.
Beat the joke.
Exactly. So, yeah. But I think, the challenge with improv, and that's why like Curb Your Enthusiasm is so brilliant, is that improv tends to be kind of indulgent. And then you're having more fun on the set than actually the people who are watching.
Oh, yeah.
So I think if you have a really strong parameter, it can make it work a little bit better. But for the guild, I really want to keep the episodes really tight because I'm trying to cram so much in 3 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So most of it is scripted. But I love doing improv. It's fun.
Well, clearly.
Yeah. Seems like after the lightsaber, everything's downhill from here.
There is no topping it. Look at me. I'm reading with glasses.
What are the chances?
So cool. What are the chances? Do you... you won 3 Streamy Awards for the Guild. How exciting was that? Because that's an award show
That was made up.
made up specifically for Intervision. I'm going to just keep saying it till it sticks.
Okay.
Forgive me. They're all made up. All award shows are made up. The
Yes.
Golden Globes, there's like 79 members. And literally, you can have 31 votes and win.
Really?
It's absurd.
Oh, I should get one of those one
Y-
day.
You will.
Oh, really? Thanks.
I just want you not to feel so good about it.
Okay,
is what I'm
good.
telling
Yeah.
you.
This is crap.
Because, see, once the Intervision starts to take over the way it is, then the Golden Globes is going to have their own category, the way they added animation, the way the Academy Awards,
Yeah.
these things, this is all the future. So the Streamies is the first version of an award show for
web content.
web content.
For web video specifically. There are a
Is
couple
there
of
one called the Webbies? No.
Yeah.
No, there is.
No, there is a Webbies, but they started, I think, with websites, and they have some video categories as well.
All right, but Streamies is strictly web content.
Yes,
There.
for web TV.
Web TV.
Sort of.
Right.
And yeah, I thought it was a monumental effort those guys put together, Tube Filter and New TV and Tilsey. Those are 3 big blogs in the kind of web TV area, and they are just a big champion of web video, which I think is great because somebody has to be out there doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And it was a to-do, man. And
Yeah.
and people kept asking me what I was wearing. I was like, sale
Who were
rack.
you wearing?
Yeah, who was I wearing?
Did you say sale rack?
Well, yeah, I got the. I mean, I can't.
Why are the 3 of you not hanging out? There's
really?
there's 2 other gorgeous geek women here who
Yeah.
everything you're talking. Oh.
Oh.
You know why I wasn't including Julia? Is because she wasn't waving like you two are. Every other thing she says, Kat's going, me, she's talking about me, and you're going, no, not you, me. I'm sorry, Julia. The four of you need to hang out. Well, that's actually an interesting question now. Are you, is there an attraction now or a gravitational pull, or not just the geek men who, of course, fantasize? Mm-hmm. But are you finding that women want to hang with you?
Yeah.
From the same sort of mindset?
I feel like, the Guild is very interesting. The demographics on YouTube, at least, are like 40% women. So it's not like I'm only appealing to guy gamers.
40% women.
Yeah, 40% women. And
some marketer's fantasy.
well, yeah, but I would think so. I would think the money would be gushing like Scrooge McDuck, but it's web video. So there you go. But I'm, for me,
You
I
just
feel
dropped
like
a Scrooge McDuck there.
I know. Oh wow.
Sorry. I gotta somehow involve myself in all of this, and that's all that's the only way I
Very
can do
Huey.
that.
It's very Huey.
Thank you. Very Huey. I was thinking Dewey, but all right. We'll go with Huey. So 40% women audience, and
Yeah.
yes, so women are
Especially on my Twitter. I think Twitter is very social,
Yep.
and it's growing. And the biggest compliment I've gotten from my show, other than people actually funding it, which is pretty huge, is that I kind of give a voice to the geeky girls out there and girl gamers in particular, because they're not represented in mainstream, and they probably won't be unless they're a caricature of what a girl gamer would be, or there's some incredibly breast implanted woman pretending to be a hacker or whatever.
Nice.
Which I've been beaten out for many roles for that lady.
Mm-hmm.
And
Look at me now.
yeah, okay, yeah, exactly.
A little bit of a Norma Ray thing happening.
Yeah, I try. I'm really, really proud of it, and it's cool because there are a lot of girls out there on the internet who are just cute, and they only have guy following. And to me, I don't work hard enough my appearance to probably have that niche. It was really funny. There was a reality show breakdown a couple weeks ago that was released, and it was like Paris Hilton type, Felicia Day type, and I was kind of excited. I was like, whoa, I'm a type?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a moment of arriving. Seriously.
Yeah, but listen to what it said.
Uh-oh.
It said, smart without apologizing for it, doesn't care what she looks like.
Mayday. Mayday.
And it went on to be like,
Mayday.
Yes.
That's so wrong.
I was a little insulted. I
Yeah.
was like, really? I do comb it out a little bit.
Well, it's the problem with the natural beauty. This one over here, I don't want to put makeup on.
Yeah. It's anyway. So I don't remember.
Gelman's getting a lot of grief tonight.
Oh, it's because you're cute. You can take it.
Bingo.
So I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, we're talking about everything, and we're doing well.
Okay.
We're doing great, and you've only been here an hour and a half.
Oh, good. I only had to use the restroom once. Yes.
No, I meant you've actually been in the building for well over that. So, do you want to try one more of these?
Oh, a top 5? Yeah.
You like the Tweet 5?
I do.
But you're working on your Larry King game.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
sure.
improv skills
Yeah.
will come forward. At Lee Krista. At Lee Krista. Superhero or supervillain?
Superhero. I'm always good aligned. I can't play the evil side of computer games.
Okay. Pee when you laugh or never laugh again?
What?
Not sure.
Never laugh again. I have very good bowels.
All right.
I mean, they work well, I guess.
Second. Oh, interesting. Freaks or geeks?
Oh, geeks.
Mm-hmm. Fairly obvious, but we have one of the stars of the TV show Freaks or Geeks here.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam. No, he didn't put that in.
Plug.
Say everything on your mind or be mute.
Yes. I'm always sitting there in bed like, why did you say that? What were you thinking? Oh, they hate you. You're going to have to send an apology email right now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so that would be me. I've done that before. The apology email.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry that I said something inappropriate about your mother. Didn't mean to. It was too long a story, but basically I insulted somebody's partner in a way that they didn't actually remember, so I should never apologize.
Nice. I think you're right.
Yeah.
You owed no one nothing.
No.
That doesn't even make sense. We're doing so well with these, we're going to go to at Tommy Hawk.
Okay.
2 fingers or touch type? Hope you know what that means.
Wow. This isn't a callback to the vampire erotica, is it?
I'm going to say no.
I would say 2 fingers.
Uh-huh. Favorite tea? Since we now know what your favorite coffee is.
I like African Sunrise, which is the coffee bean and tea leaf tea latte. I got very excited because it smells like banana bread. I don't know what's in it. Probably crack.
Uh-huh. Yeah, probably crack.
Oh, yes, I mean, it is cheap.
Guitar Hero song of choice.
Oh, Hungry Like the Wolf.
Really? Mm-hmm. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Bar graph or pie chart?
Oh, I like pie charts.
Who doesn't?
Right, round.
Silly question. What's the last part of that? It's like half a sentence. If you ruled the internet. Question mark.
If I ruled the internet?
I guess that might spark the question, what would you like to change and or do? I think you already are.
I mean,
answering that.
I'm sure Felicia's saturation is getting up to there. I mean, the cool thing is that early on, you know, I talked to other actors and they Google themselves, of course, because they're humans, and they read really bad things that people write about how they look or they act.
Never read.
You never read
those
them?
things. You can't. If I go to IMDb and look what people are writing, I'll kill myself.
Yeah, those are particularly nasty forum on
Right?
IMDb.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not on my forum.
No.
Anyway, so I early on was like, hey, if you hate my show, that's totally cool, but don't talk about my face because that's not what I'm trying to sell here. I'm selling my show.
Good for you.
And then people started backing me up. They're like, yeah, you know, but the problem is
You're more pale than we thought.
yeah, well, like a mushroom, I think the guy said.
Well, it's important that you didn't remember.
Yeah. Sears in the brain. But you know, I think the anonymity of it, and I think that's kind of why the internet is driven by personality. Like, I think my show is is probably a big part of its success is because I made myself the face of it inadvertently, just because I was always out there, like telling people about it. And I think that, you know, you're in the sea of information, and when you can connect to a person as a person, that's why I think Twitter is popular. You sort of anchors you in that person. Right. So when you're on a forum and people are saying really nasty things about how somebody's face is, you know, they're not thinking about that person getting their feelings hurt, or how, you know, how hurt they might be when they read that, because you always remember the bad things. It's like thousands of compliments. It's like, oh, that guy.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy thought I was subpar. You know. It was blood gushing.
Well, thanks for proving that you're human.
Okay. Yeah.
Seriously, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun being snarky. It's never fun being on the other end of it.
That's why I try, when I blog, you know, I try not to review or anything, like on my books, that I read a lot of books. I read a lot of bad books that I don't review.
Apparently.
But I'm kind of mean about fantasy covers. So that's the only thing I allow myself to be snarky about. Just make sure, you know, why is that sword coming out of his loins? You know, why is he so oily? How is that attractive? Why is his chest, why are his nipples as big as his face? You know, those kind of things I bring up because I think it kind of marginalizes genre fiction.
You think?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But now with the Kindle, I can do without.
I'm so unbelievably excited for all your success, seriously, and also that you came by and shared as much of your story as we could allow in this brief hour and 10 minutes that we've had together. Please come back and tell us as all of this progresses how it's going, and we, if you would. I mean, I'm thrilled enough. I never want to put the pressure on, but yeah, you have to come back. But this really was great.
No, it's really fun.
You had a good time?
Yeah, I did have a good time.
I mean, I'm right in front of you, so it's kind of tough to say no.
Yeah, it is. Read my blog later.
I'll read you.
Read my Twitter.
And also, congratulations for those of us who are being inspired as we come into this world of Intervision in terms of how to slowly reach an audience and allow the audience to find you. And you now stand as a shining example of the potential, honestly, of believing in your own vision and retaining ownership and letting the audience find you at their own time. And also only doing one show a month.
Yeah. Well, we did one show a week the second season, and we're going to be doing the same thing season 3. So we learned our lesson.
All right. Damn it.
Yeah.
I thought we could stick to the once a
I'm
month.
sorry. I wanted to give you a vacation, but no.
All right.
The audience needs you.
I need to go pack to go off to the south of France. You'll forgive me.
Great.
I'm just trying to think, how could I wrap this up?
How pretentious
right?
is that?
I was
Wow.
saying, how could I wrap this up by being
In
obnoxious?
a douchier way.
Right?
That was douche-tastic.
Thank you. So if you're ready for your Larry King
Oh
game,
gosh. Okay.
I tried stalling as much as I
Oh
could.
God.
which
Well,
is-
how can I think when I'm talking?
right, I'll read.
Okay. So I say I'm Larry King.
You do no. You are Larry King.
Okay.
So you do a bad Larry King impression. So that therefore you are Larry King talking.
Okay.
And while doing a bad Larry King impression, you reveal something about yourself to your audience that they don't really need to know.
Okay.
And then you go to the phones, and if possible, the name of the city should.
I got a funny city.
Oh, good.
Okay. Okay.
I like that everyone's preparing that first.
Okay. Okay.
And right into your camera.
All right. I'm Larry King. Andy Rooney. Wilfred Brimley and I all share the same cryogenically created torso. We're a human bobblehead. Monkey Brow, Arizona, you're on the air.
That's all it takes.
Is it?
Focus,
Sorry.
commitment, and then you got the great city. No, it's all great.
I did look at the city.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Was it?
You did it. You did great.
Ah,
No,
I'm
that's
hired.
on the reel. That's on the reel.
Okay, thank you.
It's on the
Appreciate
reel. Thank you so much, and please come back, and we will be watching your success continue to blossom and hope, because it's great to see good people do so well, honestly,
Great,
and
thank
have
you.
the wherewithal and the faith to stick by their own design. And congratulations to you. You're a shining example. You really are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very much.
honestly.
It's awkward now.
No. Stay right there as I
Okay.
say my goodbyes. Thank you so much for joining us for these last 14 hours. We hope you enjoy the length of our show and continue to participate as much as you can and want to, because that means the very most to me as well. I want to thank all of the staff, the crew. We'll take one last shot at them. There they are with their various names on their backs. They're so happy. Yeah. And then, of course, my audience and the rest of my crew there with the Gelman, and you at home or wherever you are watching this. We are going to have a clip show. 2 interviews will be on next week, May 17th. And please write into us and choose which 2 interviews you'd like to see. And then you can write about them. And then we'll be back with live guests on the 24th, of course, Josh Molina, he of West Wing and now In Plain Sight and other great things, and then Dana Carvey the week after that, and more guests to be announced. Look forward to seeing you all then. Until then, thanks for joining us. Now, get out of my face.
He's on